I was looking at on my feed earlier, bro, and I seen a video like on like my recommended, and this trade is already a disaster. They're talking about Rafael Devers,
Well, this
bro.
was a heist for the San Francisco Giants. I mean, this is a very lopsided trade for Buster Posey and the Giants.
But what happened?
Giants
Is
are
he
in
doing
interesting
bad
position
now?
because they've already made their big trade. They've got Devers on the team, and they've gotten worse since then. Since the Devers trade, Red Sox 17-9 since this trade. They're the second best
I'm
team.
not gonna lie, nigga. The Red Sox, ever since they got rid of the Devers dude, bro, Devers, whatever his fucking name is, they've been doing good,
Baseball
bro.
since the Devers trade. They're the most valuable team in baseball when it comes to the DH position.
What if I told you that one single trade executed on the most peaceful day in baseball, Father's Day, would completely change the course for two
Bro, I'm
franchises?
guessing the Boston
On
Red Sox
June
won this
15th,
trade, bro.
2025, while families across America celebrated fathers and baseball's timeless tradition, two
Yo,
organizations
this is
made
some like dick sucking shit right here,
change the
bro.
course.
You're
for
talking
two
about
franchises.
Rafael
On
Devers,
June 15th,
and you got Aaron Judge. Like, what's the point, bro? What does Aaron Judge got to do with this shit, bro? Why are you showing this highlight for, bro? Show
2025,
Devers
while
highlight,
families
nigga.
across America celebrated fathers and baseball's timeless tradition, two organizations made a decision that would rewrite the narrative of an entire season. One team thought they were buying a championship. The other thought they were admitting defeat on the season. They were both extremely wrong. Trust me, this gets crazy. The Boston Red Sox just completed one of the most shocking trade reversals in sports history. The San Francisco Giants, meanwhile, are
Bro,
leading
when
to
I
what
heard about
might
that
be
shit, I
the
was
most
shocked,
expensive
bro. I was like,
mistake
these
of the
niggas
decade.
gave up
And at the center of it all, a
Rafael Devers?
$313.5 million superstar whose
That's how much
story
they gave
proves
him?
that talent without chemistry is just expensive noise. But before we get into it, we have a huge giveaway going on our road to 25,000 subscribers. Anyone who is subscribed with notifications on is entered into a raffle to get an MLB official jersey. We're giving one away every single week, so if you haven't already done that, please do that now, and let me know in the comments below which jersey you would want. Now that that's out of the way, let's get right into it.
Swinging a shot, driven back toward the wall, it's way back there.
Picture this scene. Fenway Park, June 15th, 2025. The Red Sox have just obliterated their most hated rivals, the New York Yankees, in a statement 3-game sweep. Boston fans are euphoric. The energy is electric.
He wasn't even
Everything
trying,
feels
bro.
possible. Then, in the span of a single afternoon, the entire trajectory of
And we
two
played Boston this
franchises
weekend, bro.
changes
We're sweeping the Boston this weekend. I think we played them this weekend. It's an easy
forever.
sweep.
Rafael Devers slashing 272, 401, 504 with 15 home runs and carrying the hopes of Red Sox Nation gets traded to the San Francisco Giants
Bro,
in what
that was
appeared to be
crazy.
the most lopsided deal of the year. The immediate reaction was almost unanimous. The Giants had just executed a perfect heist. Here's why everyone thought San Francisco won this trade in a landslide. They desperately needed offensive power. Despite elite pitching, they ranked a dismal 15th in runs scored and 23rd in OPS, and adding a 3-time All-Star, 2-time Silver Slugger, and a World Series champion to their lineup, that looked like championship math. Meanwhile, Boston appeared to be waving the white flag on the season, trading their franchise cornerstone for Kyle Harrison, a struggling lefty, Jordan Hicks, an expensive reliever the Giants wanted to dump, and a couple of prospects most fans couldn't pronounce. It looked like organizational surrender. ESPN's initial trade analysis was brutal for Boston, declaring
Bro,
the Giants
how
had
is Devers playing in the Giants? Is he doing bad?
acquired one of the game's
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
best hitters, while the Red Sox got potential. But here's the thing about obvious narratives in sports. Sometimes they're hiding the most extraordinary reversals of fortune you're gonna ever see. But as diehard Red Sox fans would tell you, this trade wasn't really about baseball at all. It was actually the climax of months of organizational warfare that threatened
That's
to
what it
destroy
was, right?
everything the Red Sox were building.
But
Yahoo's
this guy said, the Devers, Rafael Devers, he was like, oh, that I'm not playing, I'm not DH, I'm a third baseman. I only play third, something like that. He was saying.
later
Bro. I
called
heard
what
about
happened
that,
in
bro.
Boston an absolute shit show, and that might have been an understatement. You see, the chaos began this past winter,
And
when
then he went to
Boston
the
signed
Giants, and he thing, bro. And he started playing what? He was DH.
Alex Bregman to a 3-year, $120 million contract. Suddenly, Rafael Devers, the face of the franchise at that point, the guy they just committed over $300 million to, was being asked to vacate third base for a newcomer. And Devers didn't just
Russ won't CT third base after Alex Bregman. What does CD mean? That means that he didn't want to play third base. That he did want to. He didn't want to give up. I don't know what CD means, but I think that means like he didn't want to give it up because that's what happened.
With this decision, he went to war over it. Multiple sources confirmed that Devers initially refused the position change outright and even considered demanding a trade immediately after the Bregman signing. The relationship between player and organization was already fracturing, but the breaking point was.
How y'all feel about that, bro? Was he being selfish? He was clearly not being a team player, bro. Clearly. But it's like, if that's, I mean, bro, they just signed him to 10 years, 313 million, bro. Nigga, they had to talk to him like, yo, look, bro, you the face of the franchise, bro. Like, you're gonna play whatever position you want. If you signing that much money and you want to play to be the face of your franchise, bro, you're gonna talk to him like that because you're gonna want him to sign, bro, obviously. So they probably promised him a few stuff, and they didn't keep their word,
Still to
bro.
come. Then disaster struck.
Oh,
Tristan
no,
Casas suffered a season-ending knee injury in early May. The
Oh.
Red Sox, now desperate for first base help, approached their $300+ million designated DH about temporarily playing the field. Devers'
said, huh?
response was swift and decisive. Absolutely not. Now, the public confrontation was extraordinary. Devers told reporters through an interpreter, "I don't think, for me personally, it's the best decision after they asked me to play a different position in spring training, and I only had 2 months playing this position to all of a sudden have me try to play another position." But wait, it gets worse. According to the Boston Globe's inside
So
reporting,
they just
Devers
was playing with this guy, and they wanted him to play a position in spring training, and then 2 months later, they wanted to switch him another position.
had
Sheesh.
completely withdrawn from team culture. He was arriving late to the ballpark, keeping his AirPods in to avoid teammates, and leaving immediately after game. The $300+ million franchise cornerstone had become a clubhouse cancer. Red Sox president Sam Kennedy finally dropped the hammer with this ice-cold statement. "We had certain expectations that went with that contract, and when we came to the conclusion that we did not have a full alignment, we moved on. Translation, you're not bigger than the organization. Goodbye." So, on Father's Day, with the Red Sox riding high after demolishing the Yankees, both sides decided to end their toxic marriage. The Giants took on Devers' entire remaining contract, approximately $250 million through 2033. In return, Boston received their package of Kyle Harrison, Jordan Hicks, and prospect James Tibbs, San Francisco's 2024 first-round pick. And
So he's
pitching
gonna be in
prospect
the
Jose
Giants to 2030,
At that
33, bro.
moment, this trade was announced, the narrative was crystal clear. San Francisco, who had a record of 39-31, one game behind the Dodgers, were championship contenders, adding the final piece to their World Series puzzle. And Boston, who had a 37-36 record, mediocre and directionless, were
Boston
showing
flipped
another
they
historic
switch, bro.
franchise giving up on the present to maybe, possibly, hopefully build for an uncertain future. Almost every expert, almost every analyst, and every fan had this figured out. The Giants were winners, the Red Sox were sellers. Case closed. Here's
What?
where the Giants were winners.
Including present day, the future Red Sox, and Garrett Cole. What does Garrett Cole got to do with this, bro?
The Red Sox were sellers. Case closed. Here's where this story goes completely, utterly, mind-blowingly insane. Since June 15th, the exact day of this trade, the results have been the complete opposite of what everyone predicted. Not slightly of this trade, the
Hold on.
results
The Red Sox are 16-9 since Devers trade. They are already 5. Giants are 11-14. Holy shit. He only has 2 home runs and 10 RBIs, bro, since the signing, bro. His Father's Day's in June. In
have
2
been
months,
the
he only got 2
complete
home runs. Holy
opposite of what
shit.
everyone predicted. Not
He's in a
slightly
slump.
different, not
He gonna
marginally
play better next
unexpected,
season,
the complete opposite. The Boston Red Sox are 27-16 since trading away Rafael Devers. That's a .628 winning percentage and the 3rd best record in all of Major League Baseball over this stretch. And also, as of this recording, the San Francisco Giants are 13-24 since acquiring their expensive superstar. Literally, I kid you not, the worst record in baseball since the trade. Now, let me
worst
repeat that,
record?
because it's absolutely crazy. The team that supposedly lost this trade has been the 3rd best team in baseball since making it, and the team that won this trade has been the absolute worst team in baseball. The Giants have collapsed from 1 game behind the Dodgers to 9 games back. Their playoff odds have cratered from about 65% to a pathetic sub 13%. They've lost 11 of their last 13 games and are in complete organizational freefall. Meanwhile, the Red Sox have rocketed into a wildcard playoff spot and transformed from sellers to legitimate October contenders. So what the hell happened? And I mean, Rafael Devers has been an absolute catastrophe since putting on a Giants uniform. The numbers are so bad. Since joining San Francisco, Devers is hitting .219 with just a couple of home runs in 43 games.
He's going 2
His
for
OPS
22.
has nosedived to .715.
What
That's nearly
happened,
200
bro?
Points lower
Does he
than
miss
his
Boston?
905 mark with Boston. So for context, this is a guy who mashed 15 home runs in 73 games with the Red Sox this season, and he's managed barely a third of that production in San Francisco.
Oh, he has 8 home runs and 52. He played 52 games already, bro? With the Giants?
Illustrated's
Damn, these people play
devastating
a lot.
statistical breakdown reveals the true scope of this.
Nah, that gotta be cap,
Devers'
bro.
715 OPS would be the worst of his entire career. His WRC plus of 107 ranks a mediocre 18th amongst designated hitters. His 318 WOBA is dramatically below his career mark of 359. But here's the stat that should terrify Giants fans. The team has actually scored fewer runs per game, 3.6, with Devers than they did without him, 4.3. Think about the insanity of that statement. The Giants traded prospects and absorbed a $250 million contract to make their offense worse.
Better.
This isn't just underperforming.
It was supposed to be
This
better,
is
but they made it
organizational
worse.
sabotage
But it's
disguised
not
as a
too
blockbuster
late, bro.
acquisition. Meanwhile, something absolutely magical has been happening in Boston. The Red Sox haven't just been good without Devers. They've been amazing. They're averaging 5.5 runs per game since the trade, went on a stunning 10-game winning streak before the All-Star break, and have completely revolutionized their organizational culture. The beautiful irony of this is that they've accomplished this transformation without getting any meaningful contribution from the players they received in the trade. Harrison and Hicks have combined for just 3 2/3 innings and negative WAR for Boston. Instead, their young core has exploded. Roman Anthony hit his first big league home run the day after the trade. Christian Campbell and Marcelo Meyer have stepped up dramatically. The team chemistry has gone from toxic to electric overnight. It's like removing
they probably didn't like being in
person's
San
heart
Francisco,
allowed the
bro.
entire organization to remember what it was actually capable of doing and becoming. The financial implications of this trade are even more staggering than the on-field results. The Red Sox used their newfound financial flexibility to sign Roman Anthony to an 8-year, $130 million extension with escalators that could hit $230 million. So let that sink in. They traded away a disgruntled, expensive veteran and immediately invested those savings in locking up their future superstar for the next decade. Like, that is a chef's kiss chess move that transforms franchises for generations. And
That was
all
smart.
that criticism that Craig Breslow endured for this trade, all that social media outrage, all the comparisons to the disastrous Mookie Betts deal or the Luka for AD deal, MLB insider John Heyman just delivered the ultimate vindication, calling the Devers trade a godsend for Boston. From the Red Sox standpoint, it was a godsend, Heyman declared. Let's be honest about it. I mean, I know Devers was doing well, but they didn't have a ton of teams in on him. This was a DH for them.
Bro,
Breslow
regardless of anything, the Boston Red Sox could do whatever, bro. They're not winning the World Series.
identified something that statistics couldn't measure: the negative effect of
They
individual
folded. They're gonna
toxicity on team success. He had the courage to prioritize organizational culture over individual talent, even when that talent was making $30+ million a year. And the results speak for themselves. So what went so catastrophically wrong in San Francisco? Now, part of it is the environment. Fenway Park ranks second in baseball with a 105 park factor, while Oracle Park sits near the bottom at 96. Devers lost all those cheap doubles off the Green Monster that inflated his Boston numbers. But the deeper issue is cultural. The Giants didn't just acquire Devers' bat, they inherited his attitude problems. While Boston's clubhouse chemistry improved dramatically after removing a toxic person, San Francisco imported those same toxic dynamics. And the offensive collapse has been historic. Since the trade, the Giants have scored the fewest runs in baseball despite adding an all-star hitter. They've lost 8 straight home games and are 2-12 over their last 14. USA Today's Bob Nightingale captured the organizational despair perfectly. The San Francisco Giants, who figured they would challenge the Dodgers for the NL West title after acquiring Rafael Devers, are now in a complete freefall. And this isn't just bad luck. This is a franchise-altering mistake that could haunt the organization for years. This trade is proof that addition by subtraction isn't just a cliche. It's a legitimate organizational strategy when executed with precision and courage. The Red Sox identified that chemistry, culture, and team cohesion matter just as much as individual statistics. They made the decision to prioritize long-term organizational health over short-term talent
I
retention.
mean, if we being honest, bro, I mean, it clearly it worked out better for the Boston. The way they was thinking, bro, they was thinking like, you feel me? Let's build that team chemistry, bro.
The Giants
from
took
there,
the
bro.
traditional approach. Acquire the best available talent and assume everything else will work itself out. They focused on
bro.
solving their offensive struggles without considering the
Bro, this nigga
intangible
only has
factors
2
that
months playing with the Giants, bro.
teams. One philosophy has led to playoff contention and
He can still do
sustainable
good, bro.
success.
He can still
the
do
other
good,
has
bro.
created an expensive disaster that threatens to derail multiple seasons for the Giants. And
No,
here's
it's
where this gets
not.
really interesting. As Newsweek's Tim Crowley observed, we're still in the early stages of this story. Devers is bound to get back to all-star form at the plate over the course of his career in San Francisco. He's under contract through the 2033 season.
Exactly.
That's plenty of time to shift the
He's gonna
narrative
turn
for
up.
the Giants. But that's precisely what makes this situation so fascinating and potentially terrifying for San Francisco and their fans. They've committed to this relationship for 8 more years. Regardless of how it developed, there's no escape hatch, no reset button, no way to undo this decision. And the Red Sox, meanwhile, have positioned themselves for sustained success.
And now, what happens if these 3 Bengals, they start doing bad, and then Devers start going crazy, then everybody's gonna, you feel me? That's just part of, that's
With
just part of
financial
it.
flexibility and a culture of accountability that extends far beyond any individual player. For Boston, this trade has been nothing short of transformative. ESPN reported that the Red Sox shifted from potential sellers to active buyers at the trade deadline, and they pursued pitching up as legitimate playoff contenders that they are now. They've proven that organizational courage and cultural clarity can overcome the loss of individual talent. They've shown that sometimes the hardest decisions create the most lasting success. For San Francisco, the path forward is infinitely more complicated. Sports Illustrated noted they must regroup and build around Devers moving forward. But that's a monumental challenge when your centerpiece isn't producing and your organizational momentum has completely stalled. And there's already been
I'm
stories
telling you,
from
watch,
San
bro.
Francisco of Devers not showing up to practice playing first base. So the Giants
He skipped first base workouts with the first
really have a
practice,
lot on their
bro.
hands here. The beauty in all of this is really just that the
Yo,
Red
his
Sox
attitude
were
gotta
universally
change, bro.
criticized for supposedly giving up on their 2025
That nigga don't care. He
playoff
just
hopes
wanna
by
do whatever
trading
he
Devers.
wants.
Instead, that trade might be exactly the reason that they make the playoffs this year. The Giants were praised for their aggressive pursuit of 2025 championship contention by acquiring Devers. Instead, that acquisition has essentially ended their realistic playoff hopes and created questions about the organization's decision-making that could persist for years. Now, trade evaluations typically require years
What's
of
the Giants'
perspective
record?
to look back and reach these definitive
Are they, like,
conclusions. And
going
we've
to the
learned that
playoffs?
lesson repeatedly throughout baseball history. What we can state with absolute certainty is that the immediate impact of this trade has been stunning. Craig Breslow and the Red Sox organization deserve a round of applause and recognition for identifying.
Hey, so
cultural
far they
problems
did
that
good. They did good.
statistics
We
can't
can't
measure.
lie. They
They
did good.
demonstrated that the organization's approach to prioritize team chemistry over individual talent, even when that meant trading away their highest paid player, but also one of their best producing ones, was the right move. The Giants, meanwhile, are learning an expensive lesson about the difference between acquiring talent and building sustainable success. Sometimes the most obvious move isn't the right move for your organization. So this trade has become a masterclass in modern baseball decision making, further proving the point we all know: chemistry matters, culture is real. And as a GM, the courage to take that criticism and make that move can lead to incredible outcomes. So there you have it. A deal that appeared to be organizational highway robbery has transformed into a potential decade-defining disaster for the winners, San Francisco Giants. A trade that looked like giving up on this season has become an instant success and a blueprint for sustaining success for the losers, the Boston Red Sox. But what's your take? Are we watching the trade disaster of the decade unfold in real time? Will Devers bounce back and completely flip the narrative? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. That's all for today though, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
Hey man, great video, great video by Uni Diamond Talk. Hey, how y'all feel about that, bro? My take is, bro, it's already it's too early to be telling, bro. It's only been like, we in August, that shit happened in June. He said Father's Day. It's only 2 months. Like, so far, obviously the Boston Red Sox got the edge, and they doing way better than the Devers and the San Francisco. You feel me? But yeah, bro, I feel like, you feel me, nigga. He gonna turn up. He gonna be doing his thing, bro. When he get, you feel me? He gonna flip the switch. I see what the people gotta. The Giants are so bad right now. Giants sent Mike White to Royals that plays huge role. Being Giants fan is torture sometimes. Get back to me when I know what Sox purchase with money. Can't really call it disaster after 40 games, especially when Davis is adjusting to a new city. That's what I'm saying. They can't. It's only, bro. No, he said that 4 hours ago, so they only played 40 games so far. But you feel me? We gotta see, like let's just say next year, let's just say next year, bro, he doesn't do what he gotta do with the Giants and shit. And then you can start jacking like, yo, like, this guy, bro. You feel me? Like, that trade was just great, but he still got time to deliver at the end of this season, bro. This season, and still next season, bro. He still think. Let me know what y'all think, bro.